Goodwill brings to you the weekly share market update dated the 16th of September, 2023. Talking about the corporate segment, we have the SJVN share price rallied 20% to a 52-week high of 76 rupees on September 11th after the company's green energy arm signed a power purchase agreement with Bakra B's management board to develop an 18 MW solar power project. SJVN Green Energy will develop the project on the land parcels of BBMB in Himachal Pradesh and Punjab. It is scheduled to be commissioned by August 2024. The project has been secured through open competitive bidding at a tariff of 2.63 rupees in the e-reverse auction organised by Punjab Energy Development Agency, the company said. Vakrangi share price gained 9% on September 11th as the company is poised to acquire equity stake in a leading automated teller machines provider. The company has entered into binding term sheet with private equity investor Aviskar Capital to acquire 48.5% equity stake in Vortex Engineering for 18.43 rupees crore. The transaction is expected to be completed within 30 days from the term sheet date. The company to acquire 365,575 equity shares from Avishkar India Micro Venture Capital Fund, Avishkar India 2 Company Limited, Avishkar Venture Management Services Private Limited representing 48.5% of the equity stake in Vortex. Shares of Praj Industries Limited soared 15% to hit a 52-week high of 598 rupees on September 11th on expectations that it will benefit from the Global Biofuel Alliance launched on Saturday on the sidelines of the G20 summit by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is because Praj Industries has 60 to 65% of the market share in developing ethanol plants. The main aim of GBA is to accelerate the transition to sustainable biofuels and reduce the world's dependence on traditional fossil fuels. Biofuels are renewable energy fuels derived from biomass like crop stubble, plant waste and municipal solid waste. Shares of Laurus Labs fell 5% on September 12 after Kotak Institutional Equities downgraded the stock to sell from reduce with an unchanged target price of 300 rupees. This comes after the brokerage firm said, after a washout in Q1 financial year 2024, Laurus stock rallied 20% likely on the worst is behind narrative, led by anticipated traction in synthesis. Laurus synthesis segment is currently trading at a premium of more than 25% higher than Syngene. Considering the significant differences in their capabilities and size, the brokerage firm finds it hard to justify this premium. Shares of SpiceJet dropped nearly 5% on September 12. Post the assurance of repayment of 100 rupees crore to the former promoter by the airline. The airline said it would complete the payment of 100 rupees crore to former promoter Kalanithi Maran by September 12. It would also make a payment of $1.5 million i.e., 124,420,425 rupees in the Credit Suisse case in accordance with a court directive. The Supreme Court on Monday directed the airline to pay $1.5 million in a case related to unpaid dues to Credit Suisse by September 15. SpiceJet has made a payment of 77.5 rupees crore to Kalanithi Maran, and will complete the payment of 100 rupees crore by Tuesday. SpiceJet will also pay $1.5 million to Credit Suisse. Till date, SpiceJet has already paid a total of $8 million to Credit Suisse. Shares of talent development company NIFTY Limited were locked in their 20% upper circuit limit on September 13, extending their winning run for the third straight session. The stock had rallied nearly 19% in the previous session and 20% on September 11. The shares have been on a strong upswing after the company on September 10 announced that it has allotted 101,666 equity shares of 2 rupees each in accordance with its employee stock ownership plan. We are in the process of completing the other formalities with respect to the listing of the said shares, it had said. Shares of Coffee Day Global traded 20% higher on the NSE by midday on September 13, after the company averted insolvency proceedings and reached a settlement with IndusInd Bank. Coffee Day Global and IndusInd Bank have informed the Chennai bench of the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal on September 13 that they have withdrawn the insolvency litigations on reaching a settlement. KEC International shares hit a 52-week high at 739 rupees in the early trade on September 13th after the company secured new orders of 1,012 rupees crore across its various businesses. The civil business of the company secured orders from new clients in the data center and FMCG segments, for building a data center in Western India and setting up of manufacturing facility for a global FMCG major in Southern India. The transmission and distribution, T&D, business of the company has secured orders for T&D projects in India and the Americas, including a 765 kV transmission line order in India from an existing private client and supply of towers, hardware, and poles in the Americas. Shares of Triveni Engineering and Industries Limited soared 6% on September 14. After a dry August month, prompted officials to cut Maharashtra state output forecast by 14% in 2023-24 crop year to the lowest in 4 years. Broking firm DAM Capital initiated coverage on sugar stocks, with a buy rating on all 4. It projected strong growth for the sugar companies on the back of expected higher prices. The analysts at the brokerage project potential gains of up to 29% in sugar stocks in the next 12 months. Shares of Kirloskar Ferrous Industries were trading 5% higher on September 14, after the company said that its resolution plan for corporate debtor Oliver Engineering had been approved by the National Company Law Tribunal, New Delhi bench. According to a regulatory filing by Kirloskar Ferrous Industries, the plan was approved by an order dated September 12, which was received by the company on September 13. Oliver Engineering is engaged in the business of ferrous casting and machining and has a manufacturing facility in Punjab. Shares of Astra Microwave Company were trading 7% higher on September 15. Astra Microwave Products is well placed to witness healthy growth led by strong sector tailwinds, according to ICICI Securities. The scrip is up 48% year to date. In the past 3 years, it has given a return of more than 230%. The government's focus on indigenization, increasing usage of electronics in defense and space, strong order backlog, healthy orders pipeline and execution of high-margin domestic orders would drive earnings of the company in the coming period, according to the brokerage firm. Shares of Shakti Pumps Limited jumped 10% on September 15, after getting a letter of award worth 293 rupees crore under from Department of Agriculture, Uttar Pradesh for 10,000 pumps. The stock has gained 22% in a month and 113% in the past 6 months. Shakti Pumps India Limited has received letter of award under PM KUSUM 3 scheme under Component B from Department of Agriculture, Uttar Pradesh for 10,000 pumps, Shakti Pumps India said in a regulatory filing. Shares of Bajaj Auto Limited advanced nearly 5% to hit a 52-week high of 5,078 rupees in early trade on September 15 after B of A Securities revised its recommendation on the stock to buy from neutral, citing multiple levers to growth. Furthermore, the brokerage firm has also raised the target price to 5,550 rupees, an upside potential of about 15% from the closing price of September 14. The earlier target price assigned by the analysts was 5,100 rupees. Analysts at the firm said that, for the company, the time to triumph is right now and suggest there are multiple triggers for the growing sentiment for the two-wheeler automobile giant. ITI Limited has moved up by 57.93% this week with a change of 72.10 points. It has traded with a net volume of 191.3 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 196.55, against the previous closing price of 124.45. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 132, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 213.30 points this week. While shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 88.45. NIFTY Limited has moved up by 50.18% this week with a change of 41.30 points. It has traded with a net volume of 71.302 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 123.60, against the previous closing price of 82.30. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 90.40, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 154.80 points this week. while shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 76.88. NIFTY Exports Limited has moved up by 44.23% this week with a change of 3.45 points. It has traded with a net volume of 127.708 thousand shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 11.25 against the previous closing price of 7.80. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 8.50, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 11.25 points this week, while shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 70.32. SPML Infra Limited has moved up by 27.17% this week, with a change of 11.10 points. It has traded with a net volume of 1.299 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 51.95 against the previous closing price of 40.85. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 41.35, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 51.95 points this week, while shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 68.24. GVK Power Infrastructure Limited has moved up by 25.4% this week with a change of 1.60 points. It has traded with a net volume of 119.713 million shares. The share is currently trading at the price level of 7.90 against the previous closing price of 6.30. Meanwhile, the share price is trading above its moving average 5, which is a good indication for the stock. The stock has made the highest move to 7.90 points this week, while shares are trading with a relative strength index of around 86.47. Nifty scaled fresh life highs on Friday, rising for the third consecutive session to end at a record close. On the daily charts, we can observe that the up move in Nifty has slowed down since the last 3 trading sessions. Global equities rose Friday after better-than-expected Chinese economic data added to expectations that tightening campaigns by the world's biggest central banks were close to over. The ARM IPO optimism and China's further stimulus measures boosted sentiments. Strong put writing at 20,100 has further bolstered positive sentiment in the market. The trend is expected to remain positive as long as the Nifty remains above the 20,000 marks. Overall, the short-term outlook is positive. However, considering the sharp run-up since last 3 trading sessions, we should have a cautious stance and be prepared for a correction. In the short term, there is potential for the Nifty to move towards the 20,480 to 20,500 range on the upside. Bank Nifty has also been trading with a positive bias. It has now reached the zone of 46,370 to 46,400, where resistance in the form of weekly upper Bollinger Band and the previous swing high is placed. Thus, after rallying for 3 weeks, there is high probability of a consolidation. Crucial support is placed in the range 45,970 to 45,670 and crucial resistance is placed at 46,300 to 46,400. You can contact us from the details mentioned on the screen via a call, WhatsApp, or email. Thank you for listening the video to the end. Please do like, share, and subscribe the video for the latest updates in the market.